Hi guys, this is Mattias, and I'm coming at you here with some vanilla gameplay from the game Rust. And I decided to kind of answer a lot of you guys' questions about what's been going on with my channel lately and why the content on my channel has changed so drastically the last couple of months. Rust is the only other MMO survival game that I have played outside of H1Z1. I never played DayZ or any of the versions of it, nor have I played any other survival game that has any similarities to what you see here or H1Z1. Now, one of the things that I really want to point out that I think is rather important for the ones of you who are relatively new to my channel is that I am a first-person shooter. That's my main playstyle. But after covering H1Z1 for as long as I have, and after that taking up Rust, that might be a little bit hard to see. But one of the things that has made me enjoy Rust a bit more than H1Z1 lately is the combat, the shooter aspect of the games. And comparing these two games in that regard, H1Z1 just doesn't stand a chance. And that is even though there are many things about H1Z1 that I prefer over Rust. Now, a couple of the things is that H1Z1 does in many ways fit my playstyle a lot more, and that is because you are not as dependent on a base, or you don't need a base at all to play survival, or just survive as it's called, in H1Z1. The way I see it, I haven't found a way to make that work in Rust. Like in Rust, I feel like I really need to have just another one of those big fucking bases, because otherwise there's no way I can have either the weapons or the armor or any of the equipment that I need in order to enjoy the game. And basically what I'm talking about is what is commonly known as mid-game and late-game. Now, with the latest changes that was made to Rust, the game became more of an actual survival game. Now, the survival aspect of these two survival games has been lacking massively. That goes for both games. But now, the way I see it, in Rust you at least have to eat and drink in a way that makes sense. H1Z1, I still don't understand why they call it a survival game. Now, this that you saw me doing here, run up as a human and kill a boar, I guess it is, with a hatchet. It doesn't make much sense to me, but at least it's a step in the right direction. And I want to point out also that I'm not the kind of player that thinks that a game has to be realistic in order to be enjoyable, so that's not where I'm going. Now, lately, I've been uploading a lot of content from the Battlefield servers, and for people that are interested in survival games, I guess that isn't all that fun. And I guess one of the reasons why I'm making this video is to explain that. And right now, the thing is that I'm not really sure of what kind of content that I want to focus on this channel. Now, the problem with being a content creator as I am is that there are a lot of things that I do when I play the game that doesn't work if I show it on my channel. There are many ways that I've been very successful, both in H1Z1 and in Rust actually, by stealth and deception, and by making it hard for people to find me. Now, as I'm sure you know, if you've been following my channel for a couple of months, what I'm looking for is some good PvP. That's what I enjoy, that's what's fun for me, but to a big extent, especially Rust is about a lot of other things, and a lot of things that I don't really appreciate. Now, both in H1Z1 and in Rust, raiding is a big part of the game, and in my opinion, at least in Rust, it's too big and too deciding. Whenever I see other people's reactions to how they're playing Rust, a lot of people pride themselves over getting rid of competition, raiding a base and making sure that the enemy team has no chance or has no gear or whatsoever, and basically leaves the server. And I'm not the kind of player that see any joy in that. I want my enemies to be on the server. I want them to be geared. I want them to kill me, and I want fair fights. What I'm looking for is good PvP action. And unfortunately, the way I see it, and I'm not saying this to pass judgment or anything, but the way I see it, a lot of players, they spend all their time building a big, massive base. They sit and camp their bases to get enough explosives to raid all the other people that are giving them any kind of competition. And then they are left without anything to fight. And yes, I guess that's part of survival, but since this is something that I don't particularly enjoy, I have had a hard time finding a way to play Rust in a way that is fun for me. Headshot. Nice. And this is another example of what happens a little bit too often in my opinion. Like, of course we could have let that guy go, but you never know when a guy that seems like he's friendly or seems like he's a fresh spawn pulls up a shotgun and kills you. And yes, landing a headshot on a moving target like that when you have to lead a little bit, I guess it's always fun to do it when it happens, but 3 versus 1, and afterwards you see that the guy had nothing. It's, again, yes, it's part of the game, and yes, I've also been killed with nothing but a rock and a torch in my inventory, and I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it or anything, but it isn't that much fun. Now, what is fun, though, and that goes for both games, is that there is a level of excitement whenever you see an opponent or a group of opponents that could be very rewarding for you to kill. At the same time, the more valuable stuff you have on you, the more you have to lose. Of course, the more you want to stay alive. Now, this clip that you're seeing here is from before the update, but I still wanted to show you this because it kind of gives you an idea of what I do appreciate about a game such as Rust. Now, at this particular moment, I have a very primitive weapons and equipment, and I'm looking for, of course, stuff that is better than what I currently have. And I see this guy over there who I assume has better weapons and better equipment, which, of course, I want. But by trying to engage him, I'm taking a big risk because he has better weapons and is more likely to kill me than me being able to kill him. Now, anyway, I decided to take my chances, and I believe that he spots me quite early on here. See, I'm pretty sure that he's running away because he has spotted me, and maybe he believes that I have better gear than I actually do, but he was obviously at that red town in order to loot, and here you see him passing barrels just to run away as fast as possible. Now, the crossbow that I'm holding in my hands can at range look like another gun, a gun that in most situations is a lot better than the crossbow. Now, another thing that is worth mentioning about both Rust and H1Z1 is, of course, that they are both in early access. Now, this is something that I don't have too much to say about when it comes to Rust, to be honest, because I have no previous experience with the developers of this game. But with H1Z1, this is a completely different story. Now, the developers of H1Z1 are called Daybreak Game Company, and before they were called Daybreak Game Company, they were called Sony Online Entertainment. Sony sold it to an investment company that I've forgotten several times the name of it. Doesn't really matter. But as much as a lot of things has probably changed over the years that I've played Planetside 2 and H1Z1, when I first started H1Z1, I did not expect it to be in early access for this long, mainly based on the fact that the developer team that was developing this game had 2 years of experience with the game engine from Planetside 2. And I'm not saying this to blame the developers of H1Z1, but the way I see it, after being part of the development from basically day one, I don't see it going in the direction where I want it to be. And it probably is going to take quite a lot before I start covering it again. And the one thing that I'm looking forward to when it comes to H1Z1 is the new map. I will definitely check that out when it comes. But in order for me to start playing the survival aspect of H1Z1 again, something really needs to happen that pushes the game in the direction that is fun for someone like me. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have wanted to see a lot of changes to the zombies, to see them more aggressive, to see them have a bigger impact of the game and so on. Me, personally, I couldn't care less. Now, I think the Daybreak Game Company did the right thing when they made the changes to the zombies as they did, because this is something that the majority of the H1Z1 community wants. But unfortunately, there hasn't been enough happening to the game that is interesting to me. Therefore, I'm taking an extended break from H1Z1, and whenever I come back to it and how I come back to it remains to be seen. Anyway, my name is Mattias, and I want to thank you all for watching. Silo, I'm going up. Is that you on the ground?
Yeah, I'm on the ground, yeah.
Yeah? You have to come with me.
I don't know where you... Oh, fuck, yeah.
He's going to wait for me up here.
I'm gonna go up the stairs, right?
He's down, I got him.
Nice, good job.